Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West Show. Jack Chow on the East-West with the GNE TV. It is our weekly update, and we swap a little bit because there are so many things happening. We can't wait for a full week to do a weekly update. Well, later on, probably should do, like, say, every 3-day update or something like that. I don't know, a half or middle of the week update. Well, that is still in question. Anyway, we got enough on hand. This much to talk about today.
A lot of stuff to talk about.
Lots to talk about today. Now, with me is my good friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, a wonderful writer, a philosopher. His book is my Bible.
Thank you.
By the way, it stays with me all the time, at all time, ever since I got the book.
I'm so
What
honored.
what I do though, I use it almost like a dictionary or a Bible. When I come across a certain word I'm not sure of a definition, not only for the word itself, for the meaning hidden behind.
Correct.
I could consult it.
Yes.
And thank God that gave us such a creator as Ken Hemming, who is the writer of this and the author of it, and I love it a lot. And on top of that, he is a philosopher, great philosopher. He is a person very constitutional, quote unquote,
Yes.
from him, right? And also he is a board member of the Pasadena College PCC Trust
Foundation.
Trust Fund,
Yeah.
Trust Foundation.
Yeah.
And yet he is related with the Rose Parade organization. He's everything.
I'm a
He
busy
is
boy.
everywhere. And plus, he is a good boy. He behaves all the time.
I'm a good, boring boy.
Welcome to the show.
Jack, I'm never happier than to be with you and your viewers. And there's so much going on in this world almost on an hourly basis that we do need to update ourselves on a regular basis.
I do agree. That's
So
why
much
we're here.
going on.
That's why we're here on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right, good. Last week, the week has been most condensed with news, with all
That's
kinds
true.
of news. We noticed that something for the past half a century never happened, right?
right.
From the north, Kim walks across the border.
Unbelievable.
And from the south, right, the president
Yeah.
of South Korea walks up to the north. And they switched
They did.
position
Right.
to stand on the south land a bit and then together on the north land a bit.
And no leader of North Korea has ever walked into South
Then
Korea.
they walk to a palaceum
Yes.
to discussion.
It's called the Peace House. It's in the demilitarized zone.
There are lots of comment, lots of readings
Yes.
about them standing on the south land a bit
Mm-hmm.
and then the north land a bit. How do you read that?
I read it as a miracle. 2 or 3 months ago, North Korea was, hateful and had their primary mission in their life to destroy cities in America with nuclear bombs. President Trump is not a little sissy, and he stood up with them, and he said, we have bigger bombs, we have big whatever, ours work, and do not commit suicide, because if you continue developing your nuclear weapons.
No, that's the other part of the story.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
talking about between north and the
Well,
south.
it's a
How
miracle.
do you see as an indication? How do you read that thing, the little thing?
Well, number one, I guess it's hope. You see these two men, okay? The gentleman in North Korea, I use the term gentleman loosely, has done a lot of really bad things. And the fellow Moon in South Korea, is hoping and praying for progress toward peace. They're still technically at war. There's an armistice, but there's no peace agreement. There's no treaty of peace. And you see these two guys hugging each other. Nobody, like if you bet $1,000 in Las Vegas 6 months ago that they would be hugging each other on the border, you got 1,000 to 1 odds. It is a miracle, and they're smiling. It's wonderful.
The most amazing part is that not only it is happening, it happens fast.
Very
Only about
fast.
a month ago,
Right.
we were talking about, even you and I here,
Yeah.
were talking about missiles, attack,
Right.
missiles, whatever, right?
Right.
Retaliations, whatever. Even there was one time we're talking about World War III, right?
Right, or
Something like
sending
that.
the SEALs
and
in.
then within a month, things are changing. all of a sudden, like I said, it is happening, it is happening fast.
For several reasons. One, China's been influential. Okay, now Kim
Could
from
be
North Korea
silently.
he went and visited President Xi in China, and so who knows what they said to each other? But Xi may have said, you know, President Trump is pretty serious, and you're not going to prevail in this continual seeking of nuclear.
It is on the news that at the very moment when they shook hands on the south side of the border,
Yeah.
The president of the South, when Men Ji-yong
Yes.
says that I've never been to the north,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
And the North has never been to the South.
Yeah, and the Kim says, okay, let's do it.
They did.
And he dragged him to the north part,
That was beautiful.
and they stood there for a photo.
Right.
Right. So
and shaking
that's,
hands, and they both had smiles. You don't see North Korea's leader with big smiles too often. Okay.
Yeah, we used to call him all kinds of names.
All of which were appropriate.
Yeah. The
Rocket Man.
the Kim, the Rocket Man,
Yeah, Fat
or
Boy, I mean, all
the
these
Fat
names.
Boy, or
Yeah.
the whatever haircut or something like
Right.
that. Right.
What a haircut.
All of a sudden, you look at the picture though, he looks lovelier.
Well, he looks less dangerous.
He looks lovelier. Right?
Yeah. But he's not a lovely guy. Yeah.
He's not a lovely guy.
And we have no trust. I have no trust that
One
this is
thing
going
for
to
sure.
prevail.
One thing for sure. Now we should take a different look at him. He's not as naive as people think he is.
That's true.
He's really got his own strategy.
Well, his dad and his grandfather, they were dumb.
Yeah,
You know, they just ruled
He really
with,
got his own strategy.
they just killed their enemies.
What he did for the past, though, he was busy building his bargaining chips.
well, he doesn't have... Do
you think so?
North Korea doesn't... You tell me, name a bargaining chip he has. Because if he
The
continues...
nuclear facilities,
If he continues with that,
the
Jack,
rockets.
and if
No,
he
no, 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 I
continues
know.
developing,
If he builds
they
it,
will be
no, no, no.
destroyed.
There's the big distinction in between he builds it and he uses it, right?
No.
He had been busy building it, which to him are the bargaining chips. Now that he thinks he's ready, he can walk out and walk this out and talk about it.
You know, I don't know what he's ready for. He says he will participate in denuclearizing the Korean Peninsula, getting rid of all his nuclear assets within a year. But but see, our spies, you know, our intelligence network said he was only, you know, some months away from being able to have a ICBM delivery system of an atomic bomb in LA right on your head. And we can't let that happen. So we have all the chips because we have the military, we have the power. If we went to war, it would be over in a couple days.
Yeah. You always fix yourself.
But he can't threaten.
Yeah.
He intimidated Obama and Clinton
You
and Bush.
you always mix yourself.
I'm sorry.
With the United States, well, how we do it, how we retaliate.
Okay.
Right? Okay. We're talking about him.
Right.
He, in his own shoes,
Yep.
might be thinking that I have built enough chips for bargaining. Now I come over to the table to bargain.
That's fine.
Yeah.
He's wrong.
Of course.
He's
he
wrong.
may be wrong.
Yeah,
No.
right.
I do not need your judgment. I'm talking
true.
about in his shoes, that's exactly what he thought himself. Right? And then to the southern part though, the southern part did not just take it easy. Remember about a month ago, the southern part gave the northern part delegation a huge reception.
Well, do you mean at the Olympics? Or
Yeah, the Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympics, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
It was huge.
When
yeah.
they were there, they were received a huge reception.
Well,
the
everybody,
whole delegation.
Yeah. Everybody hopes for peace. It
That
wasn't
was
in respect
that was
to the North.
The first rock of the olive. The
Yeah, it
rattle,
was- yeah.
the rattle of the olive, right? And then it was interpreted, accepted, and then there goes the second one. So
Right.
that's what it. Okay.
And all of this is preparing for an ultimate meeting with the North, South Korea, and President Trump.
Well, if they plan that way, of course, we say the plan goes well. If they did not plan that way, but the rattlings of the roses, right?
Yes, sir.
From
The roses,
both,
yeah.
From both sides, or olives, or from both
Right,
sides,
right.
did function the way they were not prepared for.
So far,
and they
so
were kind
good.
of pushed by all the, you mentioned about United States.
Yes.
You mentioned about China.
Yes.
Right? There might be Russia.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Russia.
The Russian back off. The Russian
Yeah,
back
they
off
might-
might be a push.
Right. Okay.
A negative
And
push.
Japan's involved also very much.
And Japan backs off too.
Well, Japan's very concerned that we make
I
sure
know,
we take
I
care
know.
of their security
Thing
needs.
is that originally, Kim might naively think the Russians might be on my side.
Well,
All
yes.
right, okay, now, when we, the United States, taught Syria a lesson,
Yes.
where Russians back off
Right.
the day before.
That's true.
Even though swearing, they say, we will attack,
Right.
we will counterattack,
Right.
we will retaliate, we will shoot every missile down.
Right.
Is that, in spite of saying that much, they backed off.
They did.
Okay, now, the sign of Russian back off, in turn,
It's hopeful.
gives Kim a lesson. Oh,
Yeah, right.
yeah, this is
Right.
Russia. I thought that it was on my side.
Right.
Right?
They're
Would be
staying a
my
little
side.
neutral.
No, okay, no. As a matter of fact, nobody's on my side. That could be a negative push to him. Do you think so?
Yes, there's going to be a lot of, we'll talk about it later in the show, I hope, but there's going to be a lot of opportunities for us to learn also more about what Iran may be doing in backing North Korea.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
talk about
another
that later.
issue. Of
Yeah,
course,
right.
we'll talk about that later.
But it's big, yeah.
But right now, we're talking about a good sign showing up.
Yeah.
And that is the sign
He's alone.
we've been waiting for at least half a century.
Yeah.
Right? Ever since 1953.
Yes, sir, exactly.
Oh, no, 65 years already.
Well, yeah, right.
65 years already.
And as a matter of fact, the two of the leaders from North and South Korea planted a tree that was planted a tree like the ones that were existing in 1953 when the armistice to end the shooting occurred. And it was a beautiful thing to watch these two guys digging, dirt, throwing dirt out of place and putting a tree in. That was a big deal.
And the 3 generations have passed.
Right. That's a big deal.
That's how history writes himself. My dear friend, today with my good brother Ken Hemming, a political commentator, a philosopher, we're touching base with you about what had happened during last week. Even though on the Tuesday only, we thought that we can't wait for
That's right.
until Friday. Friday is too long. We pack all the information necessary for today. We sneak in with a show called the Weekly Update. So stay with us. We'll be right back, please. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences, my dear fellow Americans. Whoever cares about Northern Korean Peninsula might be interested in the subject today. We're talking about North and South Korea, the meeting between Kim and Wen and Men Kim-ron, Men Kim-jong, that is a full name.
The South Korea.
Yes, South Korea. That's been waiting for 65 years. I thought it was half a century. Oh yeah, now
Longer.
After calculations, longer than half a century. From 1953 all the way to 2018, that is 65 years.
And bad things have happened between North and South Korea in that time. There's been violence happening.
And I still know that. Today with me, my friend Ken Hemming is shedding lights on the issue of his reading. And together with his reading, my reading, we put together for our audiences, for your reference, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Our honor.
That very day after the meeting, they declared that they made a joint declaration.
Yes.
Right? And they call it the Panmunjom Declaration.
Yes, sir. Big deal.
What a tongue twister.
Right, yeah. I can't say it.
What a tongue. It's Panmunjom.
Thank you.
Panmunjom Declaration.
Thank you.
During the declaration, about 95%, it was talking about the North and the South reunification.
Well, at least a peace treaty. We don't have peace yet legally. And so, yes, and reunification will be very interesting.
My whole point. This is exactly where my whole point lies. Right. During the declaration, about 95% or even if not more, we're talking about the North and South reunification.
Okay.
Only a single digit
Okay.
percent. Well, they mentioned somewhere, somehow, in one sentence, about denuclearization.
Well, but the North did say also in there, correct me if I'm wrong, that they would allow inspections by.
No, that was the next day on news.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I'm talking
They
about
blend.
the very, very
Okay.
day on the news.
Thank you.
The international community paid a tremendous attention to the fact, how come there's such a little bit talking about the denuclearization
Right, in the first day. Okay.
in the first day. And then the second day, it pops out
Okay.
that Kim says that he is welcome for, he welcomes a international survey or inspection.
Right, that
or
he will allow
whatsoever.
inspectors to go to the nuclear facilities. Some are buried and we might have a hard time finding them, but President Trump will be sure we verify.
The international community has another kind of concern. One of the other kind of concern is that, number one, there could be games being played.
That's right, because that's what they played for the last 65 years. They lie, they promise, and they cheat.
When they say games being played, they're referring to two kinds of games.
Okay.
The first kind of game, North and the South together play a game with the United States.
Well, South Korea,
Or,
big mistake.
or the North, Kim, is playing a game with South Korea and us.
Yes, sir. Right.
You see what I mean?
Good point.
Oh,
yes.
You see what I mean, right?
Totally.
Then the North and South may come together to play a game against the United States. Am I right? And then
You're right.
games could be played by Kim only
Right.
against the United States and South Korea.
Yeah.
So to you,
Well,
could that be a possibility?
I don't think South Korea would be foolish enough to participate in trying to somehow assume America is naive or play a game with us. They need us a million times more than they need North Korea. Period. I mean, our economy, their economy, we're very intertwined. There's no intertwining really with North Korea's economy because they don't have one. And then if North Korea thinks that President Trump is naive enough to lose if somebody playing games with him, they're incredibly wrong. Our president is very bright, very perceptive, intuitive, and knows the soul of the North Korean leader. And the more they try to play, the more they're going to fail. But it could, if they try to play, it will be recognized, and then we'll just pull out of the talks, and then we'll be back to military conflict.
I would be 100% in support of that position, that once we discovered that they are playing games, we know what to do, right?
We're smart.
And we have lined up
Yes.
things we can do.
And
right?
with Pompeo and Bolton, our two new additions to Trump's staff that are very brilliant men and also recognize the reality of danger posed by North Korea and Iran. It's a new sheriff in town.
I'm not confirming Donald Trump as a whole, neither am I confirming his administration or cabinet as a whole. I am talking about over the North Korean issues, though.
Yes.
The peninsula peace versus nuclearization issue, though.
It's huge.
Trump did something right.
Well, and yet it might not work
There's
still.
also another
He's
thing.
done it very brilliantly.
Sure. I agree. There's another aspect that we should also be paying attention to.
Yes, sir.
Trump says that if North and the South could unify themselves, right, could come together, he would withdraw our military base.
I have not heard that. I don't think he would.
You haven't heard that?
I haven't. I don't think it would be an intelligent decision.
The news says it. He would consider withdrawing, or he will withdraw the military base of the United States over there.
There's no way, Jack, that will happen if North and South Korea come together and they still then develop nuclear weapons. It will not happen.
That is my concern.
It won't
However,
happen.
he did
We're
say
not
that.
stupid.
He did say that.
Well,
there was all news. You check about CNN, you check about New York Times, you check about the mainstream media.
CNN, the New York Times are evil networks of news. They are. They don't tell the truth, Jack. They make up these stories.
No. I'm talking about the fact. What if he said that? What if he did
won't
say
do
that?
it won't happen.
It won't happen.
That's my prediction. You know.
Well, anyway.
But now, if see, here's the question, because I want to ask you, because you're so much brighter than I am.
Thank you.
If there was a unification, who's in charge of the Korean Peninsula, the North or the South?
I don't know.
Well, it's got to be one of them.
It's up to them who decide.
Well, it couldn't be the North.
It could be us.
I would
Who
like
knows?
that. That would be
Could be
okay.
us. Could be like a temporary government.
Right,
for
like
example.
we did in Japan and
Like with
in
Japan,
Germany
even
after
in
World
China,
War II.
Even in China during World War II, there was
Right.
a nine-king
Right.
temporary government, right?
That was-
So those are the things that proven to be functioning.
Yes, sir.
In Iraq, our temporary government still worked, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Right.
Could be that. Could be that. So I really get scared for his saying that we will withdraw our military base if they come together.
I have no fear of that.
My point is that even if they come together, we still need to watch our steps
And
to
we
make
will.
sure we're doing the right
We
thing.
cannot pull out of that area.
Okay, very good. Sounds very good. Sounds very good.
I could be wrong, but I think I'm right.
Well, I wish. We
Yeah.
wish.
Yeah.
How we wish we both be wrong. Right?
Right.
The world is a peaceful world.
That's all we
and
want.
nothing will go wrong. And then the only thing wrong is that you and I thought it might go wrong. It didn't go wrong, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
So-
Well, you know, like it's going wrong or it's going right. For example, if North Korea was going to just keep trying to develop nuclear abilities to bomb us, you know, nuclear weapons on our country, then if there was violence and war between us, that's the right thing, because we can't let it happen.
There's another concern that to give a judgment or right judgment, or even if it's still too early to give a judgment, people might have a feeling about things of where it goes, right? Given the history, for example, Kim, right? Given the history, he's been a liar forever since.
Forever, for 3 generations,
Right.
his family.
So yeah. All right.
Yes.
And this goes up to his father, grandfather, all the way up, right? Something like that. All right. Now, how are you so sure that this time he is not lying?
I'm not. I'd say 85% chance he's lying. And this reunification or this peace will probably fail. I mean, I just don't believe it's probable to succeed. And when he says, but what he wants said from America is that we assure him, if they get rid of all their nuclear stuff, that we will then sign a non-aggression pact.
Yeah, and also the public concern is that they are only a few months away from 100% mature.
I know,
right?
And we can't let it happen.
And all they needed was that the few months of time.
Right.
He might use this as a tactic to earn the time.
It won't work.
I know, but
right.
No.
But he might be trying that.
Him.
Yeah,
come on.
It might be in his game plan.
I'm talking about. I try to put myself in his shoes, right? To think about, all I need is that 3 months or something. Let's play a little game. Let's earn the 3 months until I'm 100% mature, and then, I'll say, hey, what do you say?
Well, he did say, Kim did say in the last 48 hours that he believes they have the delivery of ICBM and the ability to put an atomic bomb on it and to use it.
No.
He said he thinks they have.
That's what cliche for at least 1 year already. Yeah. About a year ago.
Well, he just said it, though.
He
says, I don't need to keep testing.
He said it repeatedly.
Right.
About a year ago, he said, we were able to reach you, even Philadelphia, they say, right?
He did. He named everybody.
He kept on saying that.
Right.
Almost every month or almost every week, boom, there goes one, boom, there goes one.
And I also do think that our intelligence community, it should be the greatest in the world, but I don't think it's really flawless. And we've had a lot of mistakes of intelligence shared with our leaders that really weren't exactly accurate.
Yeah, sure.
So we don't really know what they're doing over there.
Plus,
we don't know how they're interfacing with the RAM.
Plus intelligence and anti-intelligence, they all play games.
Right.
Anyway,
right.
All right. It's a game. Anyway, all right.
It's a game.
My lovely audiences, this is one of the weekly update, me and Cam, are kind of exchanging our ideas, our views over the northern Korean peninsula situation. Let's take a short moment out. When we come back, we'll drag U.S. in to see how the three. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences, ladies and gentlemen, my dear fellow Americans, welcome back to the show. Luckily and happily, we have been seeing positive things for last 1 week, a little bit more than 1 week, about a day older, day two, more than 1 week. For that, over northern Korean peninsula, things are changing for better.
We hope.
Good or I mean, true or false, we start seeing things. We need to, number one, take a look into it. Number two, time will prove it. Right. Now,
Time will prove it.
all those, first, with me, my friend Ken Hemming is a philosopher. He is an international affair specialist almost, and we used to do analysis of the Middle East situation.
Wow, was that exciting?
Russian, China, Japan situation, the Northern Peninsula situation, U.S., Korean situation, all those, right? Now, today, we want to go further to find out. There's a Kim, right? There's Wen Jim Young,
Yes, sir.
right? And there's Donald Trump. How the three would play, we call it the international big game, right? Now, suppose if they do play games. When I say they, I say might be Kim playing himself,
Right.
might be Kim and Wen playing themselves,
Possibility.
right? Possibility. Right? Well, just will put us in a very awkward position. Yet, President Trump says, I will never hesitate, I will not hesitate to walk away from tables if targets or whatever not met.
I read his book, The Art of the Deal, and throughout that whole book, when he's negotiating real estate activities in Manhattan, New York City, quite often he just pulled himself away when it wasn't working in his favor. And then either people come back, they continue the negotiation, and then he gets something that's satisfactory to him, or he just doesn't do the transaction. This is the same thing. Same thing. He's not afraid to walk away. And you have to know when to walk away, because it's a powerful statement. It shows that the person, in this case Trump, that says, okay, you'll get up and walk out of the room, that they have no chance of intimidating him into submission on an agreement.
Good. That is
That's big.
That is understood. Now, in details, we really have to touch 1, 2, 3, 4, all those big points.
Yes, sir.
Number one, what if they say the negotiation says, yes, I will destroy all the equipment,
Well, then
all the facilities.
Then the
right?
discussion goes
And
to
then-
our people
and
must
then-
verify
yeah,
by
no,
being
no.
there. Okay, I'm
and
sorry.
then Trump will say, okay, give me a schedule.
Well, give me access is the
No,
access.
give me a schedule, number two.
Right.
And this, well, when the schedule lines up, it may say that we need 5 months. The first month we do X, Y, Z. The second month we do Z, Y, X. The third month, the fourth month, whatsoever, right? To delay the time which they needed.
Right. And that's why we can't let that happen. Because if they
Okay, now-
committed to destroying it, you can do it in a
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
You can do it in a week.
Yes, exactly.
That's exactly
That
right.
exactly points to one
now.
thing. Does Donald Trump walk away at the first sign of no, or
No.
has he to wait until he fails with his plan?
There will be no failure because we just don't know what the ultimate result will be. There will be no failure on the part of America. We may not have a successful peace agreement. They may not get denuclearized, but we will not fail.
You
And
didn't,
so,
you didn't follow my question.
Okay.
Let me restate my question. Okay.
Yes.
Question was that when Donald Trump asked him when Kim is asked, do you not want to destroy your equipment, your facilities?
Yeah. Well,
the answer is yes.
okay, he
Right?
will, Donald Trump will be patient enough until he's confident that he sees the reality of the statements of the North one way or the other.
Please
He will
never please let me finish.
Okay.
Okay. And Kim says, yes, I will.
Okay.
However, I need a 5-month plan. Right? And during the 5 months, he has step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, all the way to 5. Right? Now, Trump may wait until the failure of the 5th, at the 5th step,
He will not.
to decide.
He will not.
Or he would. Another choice is that at the first moment, when I want only a yes or no, no but. No but. Yes or no. Just do not give me but. Right? Yes, I stay. No, I walk away.
If they have this meeting and it gets down to a timetable,
Do you get my point?
I get your point, and President Trump should say, well, we want to get into North Korea tomorrow.
Right away.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We'll go with
Right?
you now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Let's destroy together. All you destroy, I watch.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like that kind of
Anything
thing.
else
Okay,
won't
very
be
good.
sufficient.
Okay, good. I would say the reason I'm asking is that we try to learn lessons from the past.
And
You just
I
mentioned
know.
about Iranian nuclear power, right?
Huge.
Nuclear attempt, right?
Right.
It was exactly the same thing. It is on and on and on and on.
And we lost.
Yes, we lost.
We lost.
And Kim himself, and repeatedly doing this, right? And it goes on and on. Every time they put up a list, this is what I want, to China, to Russia, all right? This is what I do. They gave him something. He stopped for a bit, like a month or 2, and then there goes another list.
well, once Iran got the money, the cash we sent them,
Okay, now,
they've never stopped their
That's
nuclear
why.
program.
That's why the public has the concern,
Absolutely.
has the concern that he might be playing the same game.
Iran and North Korea cannot possibly be trusted, period. And Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, had a huge disclosure
Yeah,
yesterday.
we'll talk about that
another
when we
time,
come back.
Right.
But for this one, though,
Yeah.
this one, we really want to make sure that we are not cheated.
Right. And there's probably coordinated efforts between Iran and North Korea in both of them becoming more nuclear powers. Very possible. Very probable.
Okay. On the other hand, of course, on the other hand of the coin, though, let's do a little analysis to see what Kim still have as his last resort.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
That
love
make
it.
him stronger, believing himself that I may go ahead still playing games.
He may be that naive.
No,
Yes.
no, I know, but in the analysis we'll find out.
Yes, sir.
Right.
You're great.
Do you think he has any international supporters?
Well, I hate to say it, but in some way, China is a enabler for North Korea, because obviously the North Koreans would all be starved to death if China wasn't helping with food and stuff like that.
China is not aiding them in a military way.
We don't
Right?
know. I don't know that. Yes.
Of course,
I believe you believe that, which I
confirm
like.
that.
Yeah.
Trust me. And China is only from a neighboring country from a humanitarian point of view, right? I can't watch those many people die. I have to feed them. Suppose there are dogs and cats, right? They're human, right? Suppose even they are dogs and cats, and we're only a water away. Let's do something to keep them alive, those poor creatures.
Only the
That's the
strongest
position.
sanctions will prevail.
Yeah.
And we're doing that.
Sure. And then prior to that, Kim paid a secret visit to China.
Yeah. Not too secret, but yes, it wasn't announced before.
It was a secret.
Right.
And I would say that guy might be on his knees. Oh, big brother, give me something. Like that kind of
I
thing.
hope so.
I'm dying.
Yeah. I
Like
hope
that
so.
kind of thing.
Right.
China may have said, okay, this is the last load. Or else I won't care what the international community punishes you for.
I hope so.
But this is your last load.
Because I don't think China would want
And
to
with the
take
last
over
load,
North Korea.
With the last load, there came the lesson from Syria, where
Right.
Kim learned, oh my God, this is my big
America's
brother
serious.
of Russia.
Right.
Americans are serious.
right.
And then, with China giving them the last load
Yeah.
to feed their people who are hungry, who are dying,
They are desperate.
with the Russians backing off from them, with Japan, who originally was involved and now backing up, and he looks around himself, I'm running out of option.
You know, the diet
Could be.
on the majority of the North Koreans is so horrible, and their materials they use to grow products is very, very dangerous to the health.
Do you still remember the soldier who
Yes.
ran away
in his,
from north to
right,
south?
right, and they
And
shot him.
his digest system?
Right, it's terrible. And he's a soldier. The soldiers eat better than the people.
A soldier better than people on the street.
Right, exactly.
Well, they have food. They have secured food anyway.
Now, the interesting thing is Kim supposedly did say to the South Korea's leader that, you come to North Korea, we're embarrassed by our roads. They're so bad. And what they really are after is improvements in their rails, the railroad trains, and for their roads. The Pyongyang, the capital, has roads. They're not great, but it's got them. And but the rest of the country, I mean, you can look at it.
Yeah.
It's devastating.
He spoke the truth.
He spoke the
spoke
truth,
the
which
truth,
is,
yeah.
in that case, he did speak the truth.
I have a personal friend.
And people were
I
surprised.
have a personal friend who came from North Korea. Well, he kind of saying that on the street you see nothing, not even people.
Well, see, they worship the leader of North Korea as a god, and they think that everything is perfect under his godlike power. And he's admitted he hasn't really those
Hopefully,
powers.
the God this time is on his knees.
Yes, sir.
Or begging for food, and
Yes.
now with the food, he'd better behave himself if he does not want to commit suicide.
Yes, sir.
Right? That's the
I love
conclusion.
that.
All right, my dear friends, let's take another short moment now. We come back. We want to pick up Iran, see how things are kind of similar or not alike, and we want to learn lessons from the past issues or even future issues. Who knows? Stay with us. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West Show with GNE TV. Another weekly update in a half-week way, because there are so many things happening. We can't afford waiting till another Friday. So
That's true.
That's why I'm here with my friend Ken Hemming, talking about what's happening around us. We started with the Northern Korean Peninsula situation, the peace talk, the starter of peace, and possibly followed by, within this month probably, Donald Trump visit,
Yes.
latest June.
Right.
They say May, June.
It's going to be sooner the better.
May, June. I would say sooner the better. We will see the final, right?
It's going to be so exciting.
In the meantime, people are picking up the Iranian nuclear issues.
Yes, sir.
Right. How do you see the situation over there?
Well, I'm a very strong supporter, as maybe our greatest ally, Israel. The UK is a great ally. We have many allies, but it's a great ally. Netanyahu, their leader, I believe in him. I believe he's incredibly intelligent. I think he's very perceptive. And the Israelis have great spy systems and great ways of finding out information. They are experts, okay? When they got the people out in Antibes, the raid and everything, and it's incredible what they can do. But so he just held, which I watched, a long press conference yesterday showing, well, let's assume it's proof, but what he says is proof. They've got over 100,000 documents from Iran through their abilities to get these, and some people
Their
release
special
them.
channel.
Their special channel, right. Thank you. And that shows that Iran is still lying, has always been lying. We have been duped in the Iran deal, the nuclear agreement, and it's going. And on May 12th, this is May 1. It's drop dead time that either we allow it to go on for another 6 months, or President Trump pulls us out of it. Macron from France and Merkel from Germany were just at the White House this week, asking America to stay in this because they think it can be improved. I don't think it can be improved. And when we do have proof, if it's proof, because I just don't assume anything, but if it's proof and it's being verified, then you just can't you can't trust Iran or North Korea without 100% verification. We're not even allowed to go inspect everything in Iran. You've got to give them 2-week notice something where they can change anything, move anything. I mean, we're idiots, okay? And so I believe 11 days from now, President Trump will pull out of the deal. And then there's scare, that people are scared about, well, then we're going to get violent.
It is quite well being the public concern that for a year and a half, the public has never talked about Iran, the Iran nuclear situation. It looks that they backed off, but there is no sign or no indication or confirmation that they backed off. And yet, on the other hand, there is no counter calls. There had been no counter calls. United States and everybody shift their attention to North Korea, and then there's a vacuum stretched out.
Well, and we must understand, though, the mainline media is only going to talk about what they want to talk about. They won't even talk about the economy because we're doing well.
And
so,
there's a comment this morning. They're talking about the mainstream media being liars.
Well, they are.
They say if they are not lying, there is no news.
Well, there's no journalism. Journalism is dead.
They say it's one of the AM 640 show.
Okay, yeah.
Talking about the mainstream media lying. They say if they don't lie, there's no news at all.
That's I think it's the truth. You know,
something like that. Okay, now to the point. Okay, I never for a year and a half ago till now believed that the Iranians have backed off from the nuclear programs.
And I have not either, and we've always agreed with that on your shows.
Why would the international community shift their attention from the Iranian nuclear issue to another? Is it because the North Koreans are more severe than Iran? How can we deal simultaneously with these two targets?
Well, I believe like Europe, okay, Germany, France, England, and all that. They think that the main victims, if if Iran gets the ability to deliver nuclear weapons, number one target will be Israel. They state they want Israel eliminated from the planet. Number two will be America. They're in the streets, death to America, death to America. And so they think they're low on the priority list of who Iran wants to harm. And so that's why they can stay quiet for a while. But President Trump's bringing them back in, and I think educating them that, we're all in danger. Iran they want to be a power, the power in the Mideast. And
now that the North Korea had the problem had been taken care of or is being taken care of.
Well, we pray, yes.
Yeah. Do you think that next on Donald Trump's agenda would be Iran?
Absolutely, yes. It has to. May 12th is coming up. I believe we'll drop out of the agreement.
And he will do the same thing or similar thing. Say, hey, let's talk. Either talk or no talk.
Well,
like
either talk or watch out. Okay?
Or talk or do it my way.
Look,
this way.
Israel and America would do a preemptive strike on Iran if we felt they were getting close to developing the ability to bomb us.
Do it my way or the hard way. How about that?
My way or the highway.
Right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That. Okay, now, when years ago, 2003, when they say there is massive destruction weapons in Iraq,
yes, sir,
right? A war was launched, right? Now we have more than what we had on hand of Iraq about Iraq. I mean, now we have Iran.
Yeah.
We have more information, well, more than the time back then we had about Iraq. So anytime if we want to go for a war, we go for a war.
Well, and I do believe that you got to identify what is a weapon of mass destruction. Gas is a weapon. Chemicals are a weapon that kills many people.
And nuclear weapon is a mass destruction, of course.
Without question.
Without a question.
Right.
And it's on top of the list.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Right? And I think some of whatever was in Iraq ended up in Syria.
In other words, if Trump decides to handle both ways, he'll still a great man. Am I right?
Absolutely. Because look, I love America, and we've had presidents, okay, they're all good guys, they try to be or whatever, okay, I'm certainly not an Obama fan, but Nobody's been man enough, strong enough to deal with these nuclear issues that could change the status of planet Earth. And President Trump is our last hope of denuclearizing North Korea and eliminating Iran
and
from its nuclear.
looking at his age, though,
he's 70.
to realize the final goal that he has of his concept, though, for 4 years would not be enough.
No, I don't think it'll be enough.
Now he is 71 already.
Yeah.
Right. If we did give him
4 more years.
4 more years.
77 or
79.
Yeah, and you know, people get sick in their 70s too. People die in their 70s. Who knows what happens?
I don't think he will last that long.
Well, you know what?
Excuse me for saying anything wrong, though, but it is my wish he can live 120.
Me too.
But the thing is that, you know, we really have to have something done in the fast mode.
Well, let me give the great credit.
You know my point?
Yes.
You get my point?
But let me give the.
My point is that looking at the time, though, we really have to have his done in the fast motion.
See, we may have other presidents that will have the same thought process as President Trump, but nobody is dynamic like he is, and nobody is forceful like he is.
I'm not a supporter for Trump.
I am.
Ever since, right? But to look at what he has done for the recent month, though, I give him thumbs up.
Well, for many things.
Right now, I only think about it. I agree with lots of people propose that he deserves a Nobel Prize.
Well, I like to comment on that. Here's what I think on that. I believe if I was President Trump, okay, which I'd like to be, if I was him, and then they talked about a Nobel thing, what he said yesterday, he says, I would say, I don't even want to be considered for a Nobel Prize. All I want is peace. I'm not here to collect prizes. I'm not here to collect trophies. I'm not here to collect medallions. I'm here for peace. Forget me for that. I don't want anything to do with it. They gave Obama a peace prize who had done absolutely nothing. And so there's no value. It diminished the value and the honor of a Nobel Peace thing when they gave it to Obama. So if I'm the president, this would show really something pretty cool. I don't want it.
Obama, after earning the Peace Nobel Prize, kept on fighting for 9 years.
He didn't earn it. He didn't earn it. He had done nothing. He was the new president. He had done nothing. He missed three-quarters of the votes when he was in the Senate.
In the momentum, when shortly after his inauguration, he called withdrawal of the U.S. troops.
Let me tell you.
And the Nobel Peace Prize was given exactly to that point on of him.
The people in the
and
Nobel...
later, how he handled the situation over there is another story, a totally different story.
Well, he did nothing to earn, but also the people in the Nobel community that decides who gets what are globalists, and President Trump's not a globalist, and they're also far left. They're very socialist. So they're not really freedom, constitutional-based freedom fighters.
Anyway, on the news, on the comment, and the internet, everywhere, the cause is there.
Right.
The discussion is there. The word is there, right?
And the South Korean president recommended him for it.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
But if there's no peace accomplished, nobody needs a prize. You don't get a award on possibilities. If it's done, maybe in 5 years or 3 years or 2 years, then you can.
If the peace of North and South gets realized, though, that itself is a Nobel Prize.
It's more than that.
With or without.
It's worth every award on planet Earth.
They're worth everything.
Yeah.
And it's probably the biggest contribution of this century, of this 100 years.
Since the end of World War II, it's the biggest success for peace that we've had.
All right, my dear friends, today in the weekly update, we had some subject talked about. As a matter of fact, we have finished only 1/4 of one quarter of what we prepared.
Right.
And we have this many leftovers.
We'll be back.
Only the North and South Korean situation, that subject consumed the whole 4 segments. However, we felt that it was
necessary.
It was worth our while.
Worth your viewers' while.
Okay. My lovely audience, thank you for watching. And to my friend, Ken Hemming, thank you for sharing.
I love you, Jack. I love your viewers. Thank you.